Hey guys, so in today's video I want to explain why Battlefield 5 and pretty much all of other games from EA especially, which are designed in the live service model, aren't getting that much new content. I'll focus on Battlefield 5 in this video because majority of my audience is familiar with Battlefield 5 and generally subscribe to my channel for Battlefield 5, but it applies to other games as well, such as Battlefront or maybe even Apex at this point, who knows. So, why are the games from EA not receiving that much new content, even compared to the previous games we have seen in the past couple of years? And in order to actually fully explain the whole topic, and actually for you guys to understand, we have to take a look at how EA is actually making money from their games. Yes, at the end of the day, EA is a business, DICE, Respawn Entertainment and all of the other studios their own. They are businesses and businesses are made for one purpose: to make money at the end of the day. And last time I checked, EA wasn't either a non-profit organization or a charity one. And I'm not saying it because I signed the Game Changer agreement, I'm saying it because that's the reality. They're not a charity organization, they have to make money. Are they doing it right? Well, I don't know. I never worked for EA, I never seen how they actually do the stuff they do. I only see the stuff you guys see from a customer's perspective, but yeah. I've seen quite a lot, so yeah. Let's compare Battlefield 1 to Battlefield 5, so that we can clearly outline what are the differences in monetization and how it affects Battlefield 5. Now, keep in mind, you can replace those two games, Battlefield 1 with any other game that featured a Season Pass or a Premium Pass, and Battlefield 5 with pretty much any game in the world that features a live service. Because it works, it's exactly the same. So, let's take a look at how Battlefield 1 was monetized. I want to use Battlefield 1 as an example because it was the last game in the Battlefield franchise that used Premium Pass for the future content or additional content after launch. So yeah, it's not really that old, some of you guys might be familiar with it. If you're not, don't worry, you're still going to understand the whole concept. I'll explain it as clearly as I can. If you bought Battlefield 1, you had to pay the base price for the game. It was, at launch, around $60, then of course with time it went down, but it's not really the point. You had to pay the base price to enter playing Battlefield 1. And this is the first point at which EA monetizes you. When you buy the game. Then, they had couple of different revenue streams. You could either buy battle packs, rent your server and pay EA for having your own one. You could buy premium, featuring DLCs, and I don't want to split premium in different DLCs. Let's just assume all of the post-launch content, such as maps, new factions, weapons, is classified as premium here in this video. And we also had the last option of buying shortcuts for getting all of the stuff unlocked for like $30 or something, so yeah, that's how they monetized. Now, it doesn't really take a genius to figure out that the main revenue stream after you bought the game for EA was the Premium Pass, because yes, there are some people who pay for their servers, there are some who buy the shortcut kits, or there is even people who buy battle packs, for example level cap, but there isn't that many of those compared to those who actually buy additional content, and I'm 100% certain it is a blind guess, but I'm sure it's pretty accurate and we can all agree on it. Anyway, that's how EA monetized Battlefield 1 after it was sold for the initial base price. The key thing I want you guys to keep in mind after analyzing Battlefield 1 is that Premium Pass was the product, and more precisely, the content included in the Premium Pass was the product. So, content equals product your customers pay for. Now let's take a look at Battlefield 5. How is Battlefield 5 monetized? Well, you also have to pay the entry price for, like, starting to play the game, of course, to actually get into Battlefield 5, but after you do so, you only have two options to actually pay something extra. You can either buy microtransactions aka skins, or you can buy the shortcut pack, but again, not many people do it, trust me. So once again, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that microtransactions are the main revenue stream after you pay for the game, of course, after you get into playing it, but we can pretty much exclude the base price out of this equation because it doesn't make any sense if we're talking about the post-launch content, which we are, so yeah, the base price doesn't really matter in this situation. What matters is understanding the difference in a product which EA is selling you and you decide to buy. In Battlefield 1, as we already established, content was the product. In Battlefield 5, surprise surprise, skins are the product. Microtransactions are the product. You are not actually buying content. Surprising? Well, maybe it's not surprising, it's quite obvious, all of the future content is free, but the issue with that is that, realistically, while in the previous games, content was a product which was necessary in order to make money, in Battlefield 5, content is just an expense to keep players playing the game and generate more revenue from the skins. Like, realistically, why do you think EA launched Battlefield 5 in a state where the game wasn't finished, clearly? It even lacked features which we were sold the game on back in May of 2018 when they showcased the game, shown us the trailer and talked about it in the reveal. They sold us the game based on the features which some of them aren't even in the game yet. 12 months after revealing all of the features. It's crazy. And if you think about how they actually operate, it's incredibly smart. They keep players engaged or excited about the features they promised there to be at launch. Now players are excited that those features are added to the game a couple of months after they were supposed to be already in it. And they're coming back to the game and they're spending money. Like, it's a golden solution. It's a cash cow that never stops spitting out cash, because I cannot say the S word because I would get demonetized. But you get the point. Why do you think we have so little new content added to Battlefield 5 after launch compared to Battlefield 1, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3? Like, all of those games featured a premium pass and they had tons of content. Why do you think we don't have content in Battlefield 5? And please, don't say EA pushed DICE to release Battlefield 5 early and they didn't have time to finish the game. Like, I cringe every time I hear this because, realistically, what do you mean they didn't have time? What do you mean EA pushed them to release the game? EA is literally a billion-dollar company, a multi-billion-dollar company. They know what they're doing. Same with DICE. They're generating hundreds of millions of dollars from each of their release. Now, granted, Battlefield 5 is quite terrible at this point, 6 months after it came out, but hey, it's their first attempt to make Battlefield without a premium pass, and for you to understand how it actually looks like on the business side, in Battlefield 1, the actual content, or the product, was the actual content. Now, producing content is just a business expense they kind of have to deal with, because if there is no content, there is no players who keep playing the game for a longer while and keep spending money on microtransactions. But at the end of the day, they're not necessarily obligated to put out as much content as they used to do in the past, in the previous games, where you actually paid for the content, because 4 maps a year might be enough for the average Battlefield player to stay interested. Maybe the average player actually wants limited time game modes, or the ridiculous progression system from Tides of War. Like, maybe they do. Like, you have to understand, by an average player, I'm referring to, like, a total, completely average player who's playing Battlefield. I don't even think that you guys classify as average players, because you're actually engaged, you even watch videos about your favorite game, or the game you play, not necessarily favorite, but you even watch videos about it on YouTube, and majority of the player base doesn't. You can check it by the statistics, see how many subscribers the biggest Battlefield YouTubers have and how many sales of Battlefield there is. There is a big difference, majority of people don't watch YouTube or Twitch, and yeah, that's how it looks like. I also want to explain why DICE decided to, or EA decided to go for the live service instead of a premium pass, because people still think it's about splitting the community and having a community together, and realistically no one cares in the business world about some community in a Battlefield game, like, trust me, no one cares. My guess, they calculated that an average lifetime value of a customer is higher with the live service because A, not many players bought premium pass compared to the whole player base, and B, an average player isn't capped by the $50 that premium pass actually costs. After they spend those $50, they can't really spend more money on Battlefield at this point. Unless they're like ridiculously, I don't know, bored and they start buying battle bugs, but apart from that, they can't really spend more money. And in Battlefield 5, the elite skins, without sales, they are literally $15. It's the price of a whole DLC in the previous game, so someone buys 2 elite skins and it's already as if they paid for 2 full DLCs. In Battlefield 1, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline. 2 DLCs full of content for the price of 2 elite skins. Like, see the business model? It's genius. Think about the cost differences. Like, to create an elite skin, I'm sure it can be done within 2 weeks by like 5 people at DICE. When it comes to DLC, they probably had a team of like 30 to 50 people working on it 24/7 for at least couple of months, and yeah, here they can just create a skin, drop it into the game, and make the same amount of money. That's it. I've got to admit, I love those guys in the Battlefield community who keep repeating, oh, but we wouldn't have more content with Premium Pass in Battlefield 5. They didn't have time to design the game. It's not a matter of having Premium Pass versus live service, and of course it is. The product you're buying, or the product you're paying for, is completely different. So, like, take a look at the business model that EA is operating on. Like, analyze how they make money, because, again, it might sound cruel, but gaming companies, or development, generally publishers and studios, they're not charity organizations, they're businesses, and their sole purpose is to make money. This is the purpose of each and every single company that doesn't have charity or non-profit label. So, patting each other on the backs on Twitter or Reddit won't actually change the fact that, yes, we would have more content in Battlefield 5 if it was for the Premium Pass, because, yes, the content inside the Premium Pass would have been the actual product. And in Battlefield 5, it's not the product, it's free, as they say. But is it really? Of course it's not. You have to buy microtransactions, and if they don't sell enough microtransactions, well, guess what? There won't be new content. And if there is still someone who didn't understand the whole concept and all of the stuff that I explained about monetizing the product and etc, etc, I'm honestly happy for you, because it's so good to not know this. Like, at this point, I'm literally not only cringing when I'm reading half of the tweets in my Twitter feed, but also I always have this in the back of my head when I hear another announcement of the stuff we were sold on in May of 2018 being delayed 12 months after the game was sold to us. Like, Jesus, it's ridiculous at this point. Anyway guys, that's it for the video. So, as always, if you enjoyed... Oh, by the way, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you on the battlefield. See ya!